Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm your host, the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play 7 Ronin. Now, 7 Ronin is a game by Peter Stankiewicz and Mark Meidel, and it was published by Gray Fox Games. Now, this is a heavily samurai slash ninja themed game, which is obviously based on the storyline of the classic samurai movie, The Seven Samurai. Now, when I was a kid back in New York, there used to be a local station that every Saturday, instead of showing cartoons like most of the other local stations did, they had Samurai Saturdays, and they used to show samurai movies all day Saturday. And I used to, strange kid that I was, I used to binge watch old black and white samurai movies instead of watching cartoons like all the other kids were doing. So I've always loved samurai movies. They're great. And Seven Samurai is one of the greatest samurai movies ever. If you have not seen Seven Samurai, after you finish watching this review, go stream it somewhere and watch Seven Samurai. That movie is amazing. Anyway, so I saw this. When I saw this was being released at Gen Con this year, which is where I bought it, I immediately realized what the theme was and was like, I need to own this game. I need to have this game. So I bought it. Got it at Gen Con. Now, obviously, they could not get the rights to the actual movie Seven Samurai, so they changed the name to 7 Ronin. They changed a few other things as well. They still have 7 Ronin, which are, you know, masterless samurais, the same thing, but they're not the same Ronin. They're all different than the ones in the movie. Some are more different than others. For instance, there's one that's on a horseback. I don't recall any of them being mounted in the movie. There's also one that has been changed to female. There's a lot that have the same kind of themes as their samurai had in the movie, though. For instance, there's one that's an archer, and there was a samurai who was a great archer in the movie. There's another one who's like a sword master, though they gave him 2 swords for this, so he's still different. So they're all changed, and then in addition, the other big difference was that in the movie, they were defending a village from a group of bandits. Now in the board game, it's ninja, which does make them more interesting for the player that gets to play as the ninja. You're not just bandits, you're getting to be a clan of ninja. So the idea is it follows the same basic premise as the movie, is that one player will play the 7 samurai as they are defending the village, and the other player plays the horde of ninja that are attempting to attack the village. So now this is a 2-player game, strictly 2 players. It is listed as being a 15 to 30 minute game and for ages 14 and up. So let's start there while we're talking about the game. Now, definitely a 2-player game. There is no way to do this game any other way. Strictly 2 players. The game plays as a bit of an abstract strategy slash programming game, and I'll show you all that in a minute. But the 15 to 30 minutes is a pretty good estimate. Once you get the rules down, this game moves very quickly. As long as you don't get stuck with a bit of analysis paralysis as you're debating with yourself on where to go, the game can go very, very fast. I have had like 15, 16 minute games of this game. It can move really, really quickly. Now, the 14 and up might be a slight overestimate. There are a lot of things to keep track of, but none of the things are overly complex. Some younger people who might be very familiar with board games and board game type mechanics, if they're growing up in a board gaming house, could get this a couple of years below 14 years of age. So that might be a little bit of an overestimate. I think they put that there to make sure you understand that this is generally a more complicated game and it is not a kid's game. So, but that being said, I think if you are under 14, but you routinely get games that say they're for 14-year-olds, you're probably going to be fine with this one as well. Okay, let's have a look in the box. Let's see what it comes with. Now, the first thing is the rule book. Now, the rule book is very nicely done. It is full color, and it has lots of diagrams, and I always like that in a rule book. You know, it's one thing to tell someone something. It's a completely other thing to show them. And I love it when rule books take the time when companies take the time in their rule books, I should say, to show you diagrams everywhere, because that is very useful, very good. Very well put together rule book. After reading, I did not have any questions as to the rules and how everything works. And then also, if you need it, there's some quick references in the back, and on the back of the book there is a cheat sheet, something I also very much appreciate, and this game actually has multiple cheat sheets. I really like that. The next thing I want to show you here are the boards. Now, this is the primary game board, which is the village. And you have different areas of the village, and each area of the village has a symbol on it. These are special abilities for those areas, generally taken by the ninja player if they're able to take those areas of the village from the Ronin player. Over here we have a turn track. Now the turn track has other bits of information on it. Now these bits of information, in addition to referring to the the turn you're on, which it does in the little box down here, it also has the minimum number of ninjas that have to be assigned to the board that turn, the maximum number of areas that the ninja player may attack that turn, and then some of them start to have little skull symbols on it, and that is because later in the game, without having properly raided the town, ninjas start to starve to death because they haven't gotten any food, and the Ronin have kept them out of the town. When you make it to the skull turns, you start to lose ninja before you even get to attack. One ninja each turn, and that's what those symbolize. Then we have the personal boards. Now there are two of these. This nice drawn on parchment one here is for the Ronin player, and this exactly mimics the town. So I usually set it up in front of myself in the exact same way as the town, so I can look back and forth between the two of them. And then there is another one which is drawn in the sand, and this one, also exactly mimicking the town, is for the ninja player. Now the number of stones on each space and the number of chevrons on each space on the other board indicate how many ninja can possibly be assigned to each area, which is good information to have, both for the ninja players, so they know the maximum number of ninja they can assign there, and for the Ronin players, so they know what Ronin they should assign to each area to defend them. Now the next component is a pair of screens. There's one for each player, and what you do is you set this screen up in front of your board. And it hides the board, and it's got all the cheat sheet there. I mean, it's got everything on the back of the screen, which this is great. I mean, that's a very handy place to put it, to have all of the cheat sheet information on the back of the screen, since you're going to have this screen with you on every turn. Very useful to have it there. The next bit of components I want to show you, and this is one I have a slight complaint about. These are the ninja. Now the ninja, they're wooden pieces, which generally I like. They're like little wooden throwing stars. Let me show you one. But now, can you see how small this is? That's my one little complaint about this particular piece. I like when games include wooden pieces. Wooden pieces are nice. But these are so tiny. I mean, I would have liked them to be a little bigger, a little more substantial. I would have even been fine with them being cardboard and being bigger and more substantial. These are just so tiny. Minor complaints. They're still usable. They're fine. They're pointy and easy to grab onto. But my minor complaint about these particular pieces is just how darn tiny they are, and therefore I always feel like they could be easily lost, which worries me. Okay, next we have a nice, good-sized wooden cube, which does not give me that feeling at all because it's much bigger, more substantial. This is for keeping track of the turns, and we have these tokens here, which show a defaced, by being decapitated, statue of Buddha. Now, this is for a specific mechanic involving if the ninja are able to take the temple space, which I'll get into when I'm showing you the game. The next bit of components I want to show you, which are very nice, these, and much bigger and much nicer, these are for the actual 7 Ronin. There are 7 of these tokens. They are of different colors. They're wooden discs, and it comes with a bunch of stickers of each of the Ronin to put on the front of there. I'll show you a couple of them real quick. Let's see. So you can easily look at them and see which Ronin it is. Very nice. There's the female Ronin. There she is. Very nice counters. Those are great. I really wish the ninja ones were closer to that size. Then we have these nice big tiles here. Now, one big tile of the master of the ninja clan goes to the ninja player, and he puts his ninja tokens on here for his pool of ninja. The Ronin player gets 7 tiles for his 7 Ronin. So each one having a picture of the Ronin, as well as their number of wounds up there that it takes to kill them. Very useful. They also have, which is very nice, a little symbol on the bottom there to remind you of what their special ability is. And once you learn their special abilities, the symbols are actually pretty intuitive. They make sense, both the ones here and the ones on the board, for what they give you. So once you've heard it about twice, once you've looked it up in the book twice, usually you look at the symbol and you go, oh right, that's what that Ronin does, or that's what that space in the town does. So now that is all of the parts of the actual game. I do want to show you something, because I don't know if they'll ever release this separately, but they had a promo that they gave out for getting this game at Gen Con, and I happened to get this, and it's an easy promo to duplicate at home, and I found it to be a really awesome little rule to add to the game, so I do want to show it as well. This was the nice little promo bag it came in, and it comes with 1 rule card to tell you what the new rule is, which is called Spies. It's the Spies promo. And it also came with 2 little spy tokens. They're little cardboard punch-out tokens. One with the Ronin symbol on it, and one with the ninja master of the ninja clan on it. And these allow you once per game to spy on a particular location before you reveal what your opponent has committed to that location, and be able to change your own plans accordingly. The way this promo works is that every turn before revealing what you've both assigned to the different locations of the town, which you'll see when I'm explaining how to play the game, the ninja player gets the first option if they want to use their spy. Then if they don't, or if they've already used their spy, then the Ronin player decides if they want to use it. And if you don't, you get to save it for later. You can only do it once per game. And if you do use it, you place it on a location in the village, and your opponent has to reveal to you what they have placed there. And after they reveal it, your opponent can't change anything, but you can. You can change your plans a little bit before revealing it. And I think this adds a really cool element to the game. You guys at home could do this with coins or something if you want to add this rule in, but it's a really cool little rule, and I hope that they eventually release this outside of just Gen Con, because I really liked this extra rule. I thought it was really good. Well, that's all the components, including the promo, and now let's go, and I'm going to show you how this game is played. Then we're going to come back, I'm going to talk about how it feels, I'm going to rate it and review it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn. Okay, so here we see a game set up of 7 Ronin. In the center of the table we have the village board, and on the village board we have the turn tracker set up on the first turn. Next to it we have the tokens for the temple. Now on the ninja side here we have their own little personal board hidden behind their screen, which is very important for setting up their ninja in secret. They also have a tile there with 40 ninja on it. Now the ninja player starts with 40 ninja, but they have a few extra in a bag over there. And the reason for that is there is a space that gives you a special ability where you can actually get extra ninja. So it's possible for you to have more than 40 ninja, even though 40 is the starting amount. Over here, the Ronin player has their Ronin board set up behind their screen, and they have their 7 Ronin tiles with their 7 Ronin pieces on the different Ronin tiles. And again, they need to set up their pieces in secret. Now, since I talked about it in the intro, we have the spy tokens out from the little promo pack, 1 on each player. And the way it works is, again, the ninja player decides every turn before revealing where you've placed everyone, the ninja player decides that they want to use their spy token. Both spy tokens may not be used in the same turn. So if the ninja player uses theirs, the Ronin player may not use theirs. If the ninja player opts not to use theirs, or if they've already used it in a previous round, then the Ronin player may use theirs. If either player uses theirs, they place it on a location. Their opponent then must tell them what's on that location. Then the player who used it can rearrange their things a little bit, and they discard that tile from the game, not to be used again for the rest of the game. So now let's talk about how the rules of the game work. The first phase of the game is the planning phase. It is one of the most important parts of the game because you have to plan out what's going to happen during the entire turn. For the Ronin player, the planning phase entails deciding where each of your Ronin go. Now, your Ronin have different abilities, and their abilities are only usable usually in a certain situation, one of 2 situations, which are either if they are alone on a space with no enemy ninja, or if they are with enemy ninja on the space. For instance, Musashi here has an ability that allows him to automatically kill one ninja before the fight even starts with his Swordmaster ability. Now, if he's alone on a space with no enemy ninja, he may not use that ability, obviously. Whereas Taiko here, who is the healer of the group, he has an ability where he can heal 1 wound taken on a previous round, not one that was taken this round, but on a previous round, from one of your other Ronin. But he may only do this ability if he's alone on the space. The opposite of Musashi. He has to be by himself with no enemy ninja. Because if he's busy fighting ninja, he can't make his medicinal ointments. So they all have abilities like this, different sorts of abilities. I'm just going to run through them really quickly. Yobu has a War Shout ability where he can move up to 2 ninja onto adjacent spaces from where he is. Tasuke has an ability where she can team up with one of the other Ronin. Now, normally Ronin may only be placed 1 per space, but Tasuke is allowed to join a Ronin on a space. Yumi has an ability with his archery where if he is alone on a space and not fighting any enemy ninja, he may shoot one of the ninjas that are in the reserve that haven't been played yet and therefore kill a ninja. Kabe has no special ability. He's the only Ronin without a special ability because instead of a special ability, he's just the toughest Ronin there is. He has the most wounds. And Haie, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Hayai, I think it is, Hayai has an ability where if he is alone on a space without any ninja, he may move to another space with ninja. Because he's on cavalry, he gets to ride over to the other side of the field. And that's all of their abilities. Now, the ninja, when they're placing on the different places on the board, also have abilities. Their abilities are based on where they place. Now, the object of the game for the ninja is to occupy 5 different town locations, not including the village green. Now, the town locations, including the village green, all have special abilities that the ninja gets to do if they occupy them, which means if they get ninja there and there are no Ronin there to kill them. So, the abilities that the ninja player can get are as follows. The fields have a special ability where if you occupy both fields, instead of counting as 2 locations, because that's all the food, they count as 3 locations. 3 locations towards that 5 that you need to win the game. The footpath, if the ninja occupy the footpath, allows them to take a couple of extra ninja and place them anywhere where there is a Ronin to help in that fight against the Ronin, ignoring the number of maximum ninja that can be in that space, and that is a very useful ability. The Archer Tower allows them to get free extra wounds on Ronin in adjacent spaces. The Inn allows you to duplicate the ability of another space. Really useful. The Graveyard here allows you to take, that one allows you to take 2 ninja from village areas and put them back in your reserve. So let's say you've got a whole bunch of ninja in one area, but you're running low on ninja right now and you need to take some back. That allows you to take 2 back. Very, very useful, very necessary. Now the granary, which is where of course the food is stored, the granary allows you to take 2 extra ninja from the bag, and that's the ability I was talking about earlier where you can go above 40 ninja. The animal pens there allow you to cause a stampede, which is very useful because what you do is you choose one of the Ronin and they have to stay on the board between rounds. Your opponent doesn't get to replace them. So causing a stampede makes it so that you will know where one of the 7 Ronin is. If the ninja take the well, they get to poison a Ronin and they get to do a wound for free to any Ronin of their choosing. And the final space is the shrine. If you take the shrine, you get to choose 1 Ronin and put this token on them, and it means that they do not get to do their special ability for the next round. So very, very useful space. So there are a couple different ways that the Ronin player can think about where to place their Ronin for this turn. One way is to try to read their opponent and think, what would my opponent do? Another way, if they're not very sure on their opponent's psychology, is to place their Ronin on the spaces that they are most afraid of. Because, as I told you, there are some really good abilities out there, allowing them to do extra wounds, allowing you to get extra ninja. So I'm going to play my Ronin that way. My Ronin are going to try to place on the spaces I am most afraid of my opponent taking. So Musashi is going to go to the path, because I don't want my opponent to get extra ninja coming at me. Yumi is going to go to the well, because I don't want to get poisoned, because that would be terrible. Tasuke is going to go to the shrine, because that also would be terrible. Kabe is going to go to one of the fields, because I don't want to get ganged up on and lose early by them having both fields. Remember, you don't need to defend both, just one of them. I also don't want to get shot from the tower, so I'm going to put Yobu in the tower. Then Hayai is going to go to the food storage. Now, I can't defend everything here. I have to do my best. I'm going to put Taiko on the inn. So hopefully, and as you can see, there are multiple locations I was unable to defend. There's 3 locations I can't place Ronin on. In addition, I'm not allowed to place Ronin on the village green until there's already ninja there, so I can't place them there on the first turn. So that's going to be my placement for the first turn for my Ronin. Now, the ninja player on the first turn must place a minimum of 1 ninja on the board, and they may attack up to 3 locations. So for the purposes of this one, and there's different ways you could go about this, you could go full strong right away, or you could place the very minimum and try to save up for later when you can attack 4 locations. I'm going to go full on strong so you can see what it's like to really have the ninja and the Ronin battle it out. So now I get to pick, I'm going to pick 3 locations. So wiping from my mind what my opponent just did, I'm going to place 2 ninja on the path, because that's a great location. 3 ninja on the big field, because that can be very useful if I get the 2 fields. I'm going to place, for my 3rd location, I'm going to place 2 ninja on the granary. So again, with the ninja, I am attacking the path, the larger field, and the granary. Now, the ninja says I don't want to use my spy, the Ronin says I don't want to use my spy, and we reveal. Look at that, that's what's on the field. Now, everybody moves their Ronin and their ninja to the big board. So 3 ninja go there, 2 go there, and 2 go there. Then the Ronin player does the same, but they have on the inside because they're defending the town. So they go there, there, and there, 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 and there. So
first, we see if the Ronin player is able to do any of their abilities. Now, because he is unopposed, he could do his healing ability, but there's nothing to heal, so that doesn't happen. He is by himself and therefore cannot do his ability. He has no ability. He can kill one of the ninja before the fight begins, so he's going to do that. He's going to kill the ninja. Her ability was not used. His ability can be used because he's by himself. He's the archer. He gets to shoot a ninja. That is not present. So he's going to shoot one of these ninja and they die. Now, Hayai may not use his ability because he is opposed. His ability, remember, if he's unopposed, is that he can move to another location where there are ninja to fight. So, they have all checked to see if they could and wanted to do their abilities and did them if they wanted to and could. Now, we move on and we deal wounds and eliminate ninjas. Now, this is how this works. Musashi has one ninja left on his space. He kills the ninja, but that ninja does a wound to him before he goes. So you symbolize this by taking the ninja and putting it on one of his wound spaces. If he runs out of wound spaces, he will die. Next, here, the ninja are unopposed. So these ninja actually take the field. The field is now controlled by the ninja. A Ronin can be placed there later, but they know there's already 3 ninja there and more can be placed to help gang up. Over here, Hayai has 2 ninja to fight. He kills both of them and takes 2 wounds. Once we have done all of that, we get to resolve area abilities. Now, the only ability that the ninja player managed to take was the field, so if they get a second field spot or the in spot to duplicate it, they'll require the control of less locations to win the game. So that's not really an active ability where you actually do anything, so we just move on. Then, we remove all the Ronin markers from the board, come back to the Ronin player here. There they go. And we resolve advancing the time marker. So, we set up our screens in front of our personal boards again, and we go to round 2. Now, on round 2, the ninja player must play a minimum of 2 ninja. And you can see there's 3 ninjas still on the board, and the Ronin player is aware of that. There's also some wounded Ronin. So let's go through round 2 here. So now the Ronin's going to decide, am I going to abandon the field, or am I going to try to take it back? And that's a big decision. It's rather important. So they're going to decide at the moment to abandon the field, which is again, it's a tough decision to do. So they're going to place, let's say I'm going to put him here. Again, I'm going to put the big guy in the other field because I have a feeling the ninja might try to take the other field now that they have one field. I'm going to put him because I don't want to be poisoned. I'm going to put him on the path because I'd like to keep the ninja off the path if I can. I'm going to put her on the temple so they don't just desecrate the temple. I'm going to put him on the food store so they don't get any extra ninja on me. And I'm going to put him defending the animal pens. Okay, so there we go. So we are set up properly for the Ronin player. Now, again, we are able to, on the turn 2, attack up to 3 locations, and I'm going to do a full-on attack. So I like what I'm seeing here. And yes, I do want to take the other field. So I'm going to place 2 ninja on the field. I'm going to place I noticed that my opponent, and this is an interesting note, my opponent did not place anyone in the graveyard. So he must value the graveyard very low. He doesn't think that it's important. So I'm going to place 2 ninja on the graveyard. And my reason for this is not because I want to do the graveyard ability, but because it's going to be an easy location, I think, for me to take, because it looks like my opponent doesn't value it. And for my 3rd location, I'm going to choose to try to take the Granary again, because that is a very useful location to try to get me some extra things. Now I'm going to do something extra here. I'm going to throw a ninja on the village green. Now the reason to do this is the village green has an ability where if I already have ninja in the village green, on my next turn I will get to increase the maximum number of ninja I can place on one space on the board by 1 for each ninja in the village green. So as you can see, that is quite a useful ability. So there it is. That is my setup for my ninja this round. The ninja player says he doesn't want to use his spy. The Ronin player says he doesn't want to use his spy. We reveal. Boom. So the ninja player says, well, I put 2 ninja on this field, 1 ninja in the village green, 2 ninja in the cemetery, and 2 ninja on the storehouse. The Ronin player placed their Ronin as follows. There we go. So again, we check for Ronin abilities. So let's start. You can do it in whatever order you like. We're going to start with Taiko because he is by himself and he can heal. And he's going to heal 1 damage to someone. So taking a look around the board, he has decided he's going to heal a damage from Hayai, who has 2 damage on him. Very important, very useful ability to do. So, in addition, the next ability, there's lots of abilities that I can actually do here. Now, his ability is unusable because he's alone. Her ability she chose not to use, but again, my friend Yumi here can shoot one of the ninja because he is alone and that is where he wants to be. Now, we can also do Musashi's ability where he can kill someone for free before the fight begins, also useful. And then we can do my friend Hayai's ability because he is by himself this time. So he can ride in and fight off the ninja from another location. And he's going to choose to do that, especially since he just got healed. So he's going to ride over to the cemetery to try to fight them off. So they have done all their abilities. Now we do the fight. So again, Hayai takes another 2 wounds. So as you see here, the ninja are really starting to wear away at poor Hayai. He's down to only 2 wounds to kill him here. Poor Musashi takes a 2nd wound, who's also down to only 2 wounds to kill him. It's starting to get a little dangerous for some of my Ronin. And the big guy, Kabe, who can really take it, takes his first 2 wounds, but he's got plenty more to work on, so I'm not too worried about Kabe yet. That is his basic ability. However, now the ninja have also taken the village green, which means they can ignore the maximum requirements for 1 location. So that's a little rough. A special note though, if I place a Ronin in the village green, they don't take wounds for killing the ninja there. The ninja are exposed in the village green. So there is a lack of risk for killing the ninja in the village green. However, it is 1 less Ronin that I can use to defend the whole village. So there are problems with that. So let's do turn 3 and show you what we're going to do now. So now, bit of a pickle for my Ronin player, kind of starting to take a lot of wounds and really worrying about what might happen. So the Ronin player decides, okay, where am I going to place these guys? I want Taiko to definitely be somewhere where he is unopposed. And I have noticed that my opponent has shown no interest whatsoever in attacking the animal stables. So I'm going to put Taiko in the animal stables. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want him to do his healing ability. I'm taking a lot of wounds and it's very necessary. Now, my more important guys are going to need to go to the more important locations. So Kabe is going to stay up in the field because I need to keep them from taking the field. Yobu is going to stay on the path because I really don't want them to have the path. Musashi is going to take the archer tower. I'm going to put Kabe on the well. Hayai is going to take the granary. And Tasuke is going to go to the inn. Okay. So, because if they take the inn, they will also get to, for free, take the ability for having 2 fields, because they get to duplicate the field ability. So this is the final turn in which I can only attack 3 locations. However, one of them I get to break the rule of the number of guys that go there by 1. So the big question becomes, where am I going to break the rule? What has become the most important area for me that I want to take? I want more ninja. So I'm going to break the rule at the granary. because that will get me more ninja, and it's very important for me right now. I also want the field, and I want it bad. So I'm going to put 2 guys on the field as well. And for my third location, because I would really like to do some extra damage to my enemy here, I'm going to put 2 in the field, because then that would allow me to have them go, have a couple extra ninja go where I want them to. So let's reveal for round 3. My ninja go on the board in their locations. This one goes to the Granary. My Ronin go to their locations. And we check for special abilities again. Now, Yobu finally gets to do his special ability, where he can scare 2 of them off to adjacent locations. So the question is where to send them. I've decided to send 1 to the field. Actually, I'm going to send both of them to the field, because they don't do any extra damage there. My opponent's already taken the field, and it's totally safe for me to just let him thoroughly take that space. My archer gets to take a shot and kill a ninja from the supply. I get to heal a wound. I'm going to heal a wound on Hayai. Actually, no, I'm going to heal a wound on Musashi, because it looks like Hayai's going to die anyway this round, unfortunately. And then no one else gets to do any abilities, so we do the fight. Now Hayai went in a very dangerous place, and he's going to die. There's 3 ninja there. 2 wounds are enough to kill him. He's now dead, which means we dump those ninja back over here in the reserves. Hayai goes face down. His piece goes on the back of his card, and the ninja have taken the Granary. The Kabe over here takes 2 wounds from the ninja that he is fighting, and that is it for the battle. However, the ninja have gotten to do one of their abilities. They took the Granary. The Granary ability allows them to take 2 ninja from the supply and add them to their card. So the ninja now have extra ninja, 2 extra ninja to play with that they didn't have before, and they have taken 2 locations in the village. So as you can see, this is going to heat up even more in the next turn, when the ninja are able to attack 4 locations, and the Ronin have lost 1 of their Ronin. And that's how you play a game of 7 Ronin. Now the object of the game goes like this. Again, the ninja need to capture 5 village locations or kill all the Ronin. The Ronin need to either kill all the ninja or survive all of the turns. If you make it through all 8 turns without the ninja capturing 5 locations or killing all the Ronin win. So a good strategy for the Ronin is often just to outlast the ninja, which this Ronin player, unfortunately, is not doing very well, because they've already lost a Ronin, and that is tough. That is really bad. So that's how you play a game of 7 Ronin. Let's head back. I'm going to talk a bit about how it feels. I'm going to review it, I'm going to rate it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn.
Okay, so that was how you play a game of 7 Ronin. Now, this game is a ton of fun. It's asymmetrical, so I usually find it best to play this game in pairs and have each player try being either side. Some people like being the Ronin better, some people like being the ninja better, some people like me like doing both. I like playing both. Lynn, on the other hand, is very fond of being, well, much more fond of being the Ronin than she is of being the ninja. She finds the ninja very difficult to use. I do think that the ninja are a more advanced and a little bit more difficult to use, but they're both very fun, even though they're not the same, even though they're asymmetrical. And this, now again, this is a programming game, so what that means is how you set it up ahead of time on your turn. You set up what you want to do, and then once you reveal it, what you want to do happens automatically, and what your opponent wanted to do might interfere with what you wanted to do. So you program the turn before the turn actually takes place. And that's a really cool mechanic in this, because you plan out your battle, and like a wise general once said, no plan survives first contact with the enemy, and this game really does illustrate that. And it's really cool how just because you're like, oh, I'm going to take this and I'm going to take that, or if you're the Ronin player, I'm going to defend this area and I'm going to defend that area, and then you flip it over and you're like, oh, my opponent didn't even go there at all. Ugh. So I like it a lot. I think it's a really fun game to play. It's very thematic. It really does feel like the movie Seven Samurai, if you are a fan of Seven Samurai. I would play this game anytime someone wants to play it. I'm going to ask to play this game many times in the future. I really, really want to try out both sides many more times. I've already played it about half a dozen times with different people as my opponents, and I really like this game. So I give this game 8 out of 10 stars. It's a very high rating, 8 out of 10 stars on Board Game Geek for 7 Ronin. But let's get a second opinion. Lynn, how many stars out of 10 do you give to 7 Ronin?
6.
So now Lynn gave it 6 stars, which means she has to be in the mood to play it. And I do want to throw this out there. This is one of the dangers of an asymmetrical game. Lynn likes one side but not the other in this game. She doesn't like to be the ninja. She only likes to be the Ronin. So now I said I like to play this game in pairs where I get to be both sides. But Lynn has taken to refusing to be the ninja. She'll just be the Ronin from now on. So that happens. And because of that, that's why her rating went down to a 6, because she does not like 50% of the forces available to be in this particular game. But I really like both of the forces. I really like how this game plays, which is why I gave it an 8. So, again, 8 stars from me, 6 stars from Lynn, 7 Ronin. If any of this interests you, if you're really into samurai or ninja or both, if you're really into the movie Seven Samurai, if you really like programming games, or you really like any of the sound of how this game plays, buy this game. This is a unique, interesting, and fun game. Even though it's a bit advanced, it plays very quickly, and I highly recommend it. So, there you have it. Do you have any comments on the game? Did I get anything wrong? Do you want to comment down below? Go ahead. Oh, quick note, I did forget to mention that in the 3rd round, when I was playing the ninja, I placed a ninja on the village green in addition to my locations. I forgot to mention that is a rule. You're allowed to place on the village green in addition to your other locations that you're allowed to place in. So it was 3 plus the village green, and that is allowed. That's not a mistake. But if I did make any mistakes, please comment down below. If you have any comments or concerns or questions you would like to make, please comment down below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, game on.